Hello, guys. Live from sunny South Dakota in the principal's office. This is CL workshop number 4. Today we're going to talk a little bit about pacing. I did send you the agenda for tomorrow's workshop. There'll be a couple things just to mention right on top. I just wanted to let you know what happened at the parent principal meeting. It was pretty minor. And then let you know that the scheduler that um, the middle school is using, next week, rather than a workshop, Mr. Sorensen from Seven Verbs, who designed that scheduler, would like to just have 15 minutes of your time to show you how it works, and then maybe you can provide a sandbox after that so you guys can take a look at that scheduler, see if it fits us. I'm not going to read through the whole thing because I sent you the document. I just want to maybe summarize some key points. First of all, on the factors that are setting pace, those first two right now for you guys are the most important. This is just more of an overview for an aspiration, kind of a vision of where we'd like to get to. But absolutely, when you're setting pace, it's more about ability and do you have a credible assessment so kids can hit their whatever their target is, and then they can move on. And that's okay for now. The problem is, learning is not linear, and you'll see down below, just as a as this ties together, is there's content influences, and each one of your content should have a different kind of a pace that you set. And I'll give you an example. Is in math is a little more linear. However, you may set a pace that also desires depth and complexity. So it might be linear of, okay, I built these skills, but now you feel like for them to move on, and they do have the time, the ability, the capacity, maybe they should be doing more depth. And that's the individualization. That's how every kid should take a different pathway. And in the end, it just becomes a complete web of how these kids travel. It's just not linear. And I know, when you guys redid the schedule, our hope is that you're grouping kids who are in the same region and the same bubble, so that there can be some direct instruction, and that's great. And there can be great consistency because we only do have so much time, no matter how much I lament time at all. But what you're going to have to start doing as you continue, and hopefully we get some summer PD time, is developing different assessments, different pathways, different ways for kids to display what they know, and also deciding that pacing isn't always about just the next thing and accelerating through curriculum, but that sometimes it is using, sorry about my cold, using those particular capacities kids have so that they get depth. And that's those level 4s we kind of talk about. So remember that pacing, just to summarize, pacing is not just about moving through all the meta objectives and moving through all the affirmations and moving through, all the learning targets. It actually should be about finding what, after you know the student well enough, what is their, workload capacity, how have they progressed, so we know that those essential things, the fundamental things, that they have received those, but is there a depth, is there a different tangential way that they can become even better off than they were, and really explore things, because in the end too, we'd like them to be independent, we'd like them to be intrinsic learners, and some of that is their own gravitation towards what their abilities, their likes, and their motivations are. You can't do that if pacing is just simply about everybody moving through and some going faster, some going slower. Now, again, at the outset, guys, because we're only a couple of years into this, that's fine. Set pacing with work ethic and ability. Set it in a more linear fashion, no problem. The other example I was going to give you is specific is reading. Reading basically has, once you get to the fundamental nature of it, is more complexity in different genres. So it's more parallel skills. It's using the skills you already have to be able to tack other literature. So in that case, it's got to go in different directions. It has to. It can't be all the same. Now, you might do a novel study for everybody, and that's great. That's what we've always done in school, and I think there's great value to that. But there should be some selections outside of those things, and possibly there's even selections or menus within different genres. So anyway, all of your contents will be different. That's why I've got those influences on there. And then also, there's some time-based review. The formula for this would be time-based review, because we do have time, unfortunate as that may be. So you've got to decide where should they be at what time within the school year. That's just what we're going to have to do. And then whether they met objective, and then the next step, is it more depth or is it the next skill up? That should be your formula all the time when you're setting pace. And hopefully you guys can do that for more than just one kid at a time, because one kid at a time makes it very inefficient. If there's a couple that seem to have the same capacity, same work ethic, colleagues, all those things, that's why I have those listed as well. Okay, like group dynamics. So I hope you kind of understand pacing. I'd like you to watch this, 5 minutes, and then look at the sheet before we meet tomorrow at 11:20. Again, I'll just review just parent principal and then the flex scheduler thing, and then we'll talk about pacings, and you guys will talk in groups and then give me your input. Okay? Hey, thanks again. This has been the CL Workshop number 4. Lean signing out from sunny South Dakota Principal's office at Camelot Intermediate, and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.